It's 11:11 p.m. on Monday, September 15th, and I want to show you guys exactly how to become a real estate wholesaler. I started off with the exact same journey as most of you guys. I worked a normal 9 to 5 job, saved up a little bit of capital, invested it into the business and marketing, failed a ton of times, fell on my face, hit rock bottom, and then got to the point where I am in under a year. I only started making money at the end of last year, and now I've completely 180'd my entire life. Not to mention, I'm still setting myself up for my future. I'm not like a fucking traditional Miami kid going out buying a Lambo with my first 100 grand. I'm obviously in real estate, so I know how to use all of the tax loopholes, and I know how to actually analyze a deal to see what makes sense for me to buy and to own under my own portfolio now. And guys, what I'm telling you is that wholesaling literally gets you into all these things, because if you know how to analyze, source, and actually make money from a deal, you're gonna have a skill set that will make you money for the rest of your entire life. It will literally always make you money. Someone's always gonna need a house to live in, and a flipper's always gonna want to flip a house, and someone's always going to want to hold a rental, and literally real estate will never go out of like season. So as long as humans are still around on planet Earth, if you know how to do real estate and find off-market discounted properties, you will have a way to make money. So let me show you guys exactly how to get into it. All right, guys, so real estate wholesaling 101. This is the business model that has generated me multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in assignment fees and has completely changed my life. I closed my first deal at the age of 17, and then shortly after went completely virtual with high school, moved out of my parents' house into a high-rise apartment at the age of 18, and then realized I didn't even like it where I was living, so I broke my lease and then moved to Dallas, where I'm at now. I bought my dream watch, I'm about to buy my dream car, and I honestly can't remember the last time I've made under $30,000 a month. So obviously this business has completely changed my life. The first thing I'm obviously going to go over is what is wholesaling? Like, what is this business model and how is it making so much money? Wholesaling is middlemaning an off-market or on-market real estate transaction. You lock up or get under contract a property at a set price and then assign the rights of the contract to an investor for a higher price. For example, you lock up a property for $200,000, you then assign it for $220,000, and then you make a $20,000 assignment fee. The way you justify that assignment fee is that you're doing all of the marketing, you're paying for the marketing, and you're doing all of the sales with the seller. So that's where you create your value, and that's how you actually get paid. You're providing a service to that homeowner, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to locate that buyer that you're bringing to the table that actually is going to end up getting the deal closed and funded, because finding real buyers nowadays is actually hard. Number two, what is acquisitions? Acquisitions is the branch of real estate that handles finding discounted properties. We run marketing, so we call, we text, we run ads for people who want to sell their house quick for cash. These motivated sellers come to us, we give them an offer, and if we give out enough offers, we are bound to land one contract. This business is very, very high ticket, so you only need one contract a month and you're clearing 10 to 20K a month in profit. Guys, acquisitions is the front end money maker of your business. You need to be good on the phone as the owner operator in the beginning to make money starting out, because you have no capital up front to outsource quality talent like sales reps. So you need to treat every single lead like it's worth $10,000 and take your time. What I mean by this is you can't treat all of your leads just like numbers on a screen like how everyone else does. You actually need to put effort into your leads and make sure that they know that you're treating them like a real human being. That's how you build up a personable relationship with a seller, and that's inevitably how you find the best deals. The way the acquisitions process should be structured is you should have a screening phase where you figure out the price, condition, motivation, and timeline of the property. So that's called the 4 pillars. From there, you underwrite the deal, you give them the offer call. If they verbally accept the offer, then you take them to the contract signing call, where inevitably you lock them up under contract and get the deal done. The sales sequence in real estate is honestly extremely simple. The biggest thing you need to worry about is actually being able to build up personable relationships with the sellers and establish yourself as a professional that knows what the fuck they're talking about. No one's going to trust you to buy their house if you're sitting on the phone talking like you have no clue what's going on and stuttering every 5 seconds. So you need to make sure you're establishing yourself as a professional and you're coming off as someone who actually knows what the hell they're doing. So when you get on the phone with the seller, make a good introduction. Hey, my name is Dylan. I saw you express some interest in, selling that property on Main Street. I'm an investor in the area. We do about 3 to 5 deals a month in this, exact little pocket. So I just wanted to gather a couple more details. Do you have like 10 to 15 minutes to chat? That's how I'd introduce myself, checks all the boxes, and then from there, just ask them how much they want for their property, figure out the condition of their house, figure out why they even want to sell it, and then wrap it all up with how fastly they want to close on the deal. Number two, once you have a lead that actually wants to sell, you have to underwrite the property. So what is underwriting? There's two key terms you need to know about underwriting before we get started. ARV is after repair value, so how much a property is worth after fixed up. MAO is max allowable offer, so the max allowable offer that you can give to the homeowner to actually ensure you make money on the deal. Underwriting is finding comparable houses to your subject property to determine how much it's worth and how much you can offer. You then go on Zillow, you set similar filters, you find these comparatives, and then you give out the offer. MAO equals ARV times 0.7 minus repairs minus assignment fee. That's the equation that we all go by, and that's how you determine how much a house is going to be worth in your eyes as a wholesaler. This may seem like you're lowballing a lot of people, but if you have enough reps, if you have enough leads, you're bound to find people that are in the perfect situation to where it actually makes sense for them to accept these type of offers. One of the best wholesalers I've ever seen said this in a video before, and I won't ever forget it. We're here to find deals, not make deals. So we're not trying to price drop these people 500 grand from their asking price. Those type of people we can just let go, right? And we're not the right fit, move on to the next guy. But in terms of people that are in distressed situations that need to sell and need to take a discount, or else they're literally going to lose their house or, go behind on payments, that's somebody who's going to be fit for an offer of our caliber. So make sure you're out there trying to find deals, not lowball the fuck out of people and try and make deals out of thin air. Next slide is how to market and set up systems. So marketing and wholesaling is completely dependent on your budget. The strategies are simple. Google, Facebook, pay-per-lead, these are all going to be more predictable, but they're going to be more expensive, but they're also going to be more scalable. SMS and hiring VAs, this is like cheaper, but it's less predictable, less scalable, way more labor. So you can choose based on your budget. If you have over 5K a month, I would recommend the top. If you have under 5K a month, I would recommend the bottom of SMS and hiring VAs. Start less predictable and then roll over the capital and get proof of concept and then pay for better forms of marketing with the profit from your first couple of deals. Right now, I'm mainly running Google PPC for my business, but obviously you guys aren't going to have $10,000 to $20,000 a month to be spending on marketing starting out. So I would highly suggest you guys just start with like SMS or hiring cold callers. So now that you know everything about the front end, we need to learn about the back end. So the back end in real estate is dispositions and transactional coordination. Dispositions is the process of selling your deal off to an investor. You find investors through Facebook, realtors, and JVing with other wholesalers for a small fee. Transactional coordination is working with a title company or an attorney to finalize the sale and get the deal closed. These are very, very, very simple topics, and you guys should have no issue as long as you're underwriting your deals right. If you have a shitty deal and you're trying to sell it to an investor, you're never going to be able to get taken seriously, and everyone's going to say to go fuck yourself. But if you have good deals, you should have no issue at all selling them just by using like Facebook, right? If you can provide someone an opportunity to make $50,000 on a flip, there's no way in hell they're not going to pay you your asking price. So you have to make sure you're running your numbers right and make sure you have someone double check your numbers before you send out those offers. And then transactional coordination is even easier. The buyer is literally paying a fee for a title company to handle it all for them for a reason. So you as the wholesaler literally just have to send in the paperwork and let the title company do their job and get the deal closed. They'll handle everything from the title search to requesting payoffs to researching all of the past names on deed. They'll do everything in that realm. You don't have to do a single thing other than maybe obtain a couple more signatures if possibly needed. Cool. So now that you guys know the basics of the business, now I'm going to simplify your timeline from starting from absolute zero. So days 1 through 30, you're going to be practicing acquisitions. Get on the phone as soon as possible, fail, get cursed out. You have to suck really badly at first and then get really good at the sales sequence over time. So you got to put in lots of reps to get really good. And once you're really good, this is when you start paying for marketing. So days 31 onward, pay for marketing. There's no free to play in this business. You need to pay to win nowadays. Leads cost money. So save up at least 1 to 2K a month to put in your business and take the risk. You will continuously learn during this phase, obviously, because there's plenty of one-off situations in real estate that you're going to learn how to solve. Anyone sitting there trying to tell you to do seller finance or, do all these free methods where you spend a couple $100 on a software and then send out 1 million emails to realtors is selling you on a dream. That shit does not work. I'll say it straight up. Like, it just does not work at all. It might work for 1 out of every 10,000 people, but we're looking for ways to predictably make money. We're not trying to base our income and our financial future on luck. So I don't preach shit like that. I only tell you what actually works, and what actually works is just by spending money on the business. You don't have to sugarcoat it. One tip I'll give you guys when you're starting out is do not try and learn everything about the business up front. Learn as you go. Analysis paralysis is the leading cause of why people fail and do not make a dime in real estate. Get started as soon as possible and you'll find success much faster than the rest. Most people sit there for the first week and mentally masturbate, meaning they sit there and learn everything. They study every script known to mankind. They watch every call recording known to mankind. And they do everything but actually get on the phone themselves. And that's the reason why most people won't succeed, and that's why most people don't progress, because they're too scared to just hop on the phone and start failing as soon as possible. This is one of the businesses where you have to fucking fail. You have to fall on your face. You have to get cursed out, because that's the only way to learn. The only way to learn how to talk to someone better is just by talking to more people. So try and get on the phone as soon as possible. Don't try and learn everything about how a transaction works and how a real estate deal should look before you even make your first phone call. Literally just learn the basics of the business, learn how a call is supposed to be structured, and then go give it a fucking shot. Go call a for sale by owner on Zillow and, have at it. Just try and talk to a seller and try and do that for the first month. And then once you get really comfortable on the phone, that's when you have the skill to actually close these leads. So that's when you pay for marketing. Some common mistakes I see beginners making is sounding like a robot on the phone. Don't follow a script, learn the framework, and then base your calls off of that, meaning learn how to talk to a seller about price, condition, motivation, timeline, and then put it in your own words. You don't want to be reading off a script. Like I said, you don't want to sound like a fucking robot. Number 2 is not spending any money. People just try and do the freeway. So like I said, on market, trying to cold call for 8 hours a day, etc. Don't do that shit. Actually spend money on real marketing systems that has leads coming to you rather than you outreaching to the leads yourself, and it will change the game for you, I promise. Number 3 is avoiding the learning/practice phase. You need to start out calling FSBO/cold calling for practice only, not to close deals. So what I mean by this is don't try and skip that first month where you have to sit down and grind and learn what the fuck you're doing, because you'll just end up wasting your marketing dollars. With any business model nowadays, you need raw skills to succeed in it, especially real estate. So get past it, learn the raw skills, and then get started with marketing so you don't waste your money. Number 4 is not recording your acquisitions calls to get better at sales. Record your calls. Make sure you know how you sound on the phone so that you can listen to them back later and be like, oh, I sound like a dumbass when I was explaining this. I can probably do this the next time and fix it. Obviously just record your calls. There's no harm behind it. I know people think it's embarrassing. You're literally listening to your self-talk. So if you're embarrassed by listening to your self-talk, I don't know what to tell you. All right, so now you know literally everything about the business. Let me tell you about the fastest way to break into the business, completely unsugarcoated. Obviously, the fastest way to break into the business is going to be paying for a one-to-one mentorship and learning from people who have done this before. If you can pay someone a couple grand to teach you every single thing that they've learned about the business and everything that's built them up to the point where they're at now. I spent multiple 4 figures on mentorships, and even I picked the wrong one, and honestly I didn't really get the value I truly deserved. I still learned a lot about the business from them just because I surrounded myself with people that were actually doing deals. That was the main value that I actually got. So getting around people that are actually doing deals, learning from their failures, and getting structured training is obviously just going to make this process a whole lot easier, especially if you have a lot to spend on your marketing. It just makes so much more sense to pay someone a couple grand to teach you how to do the marketing rather than trying to do the marketing yourself and wasting a shit ton of money on leads that you don't know how to work or not even generating leads in the first place. Number 2 is practicing and working on real leads. So not FSBOs, not cold calling manually for your lead generation, actually working real leads that are coming to you, whether you're reaching out with mass SMS or you're hiring a lot of cold callers or you're running a lot of ads. You need real leads, and that's how you're going to break into the business as fast as possible, but only do that after your learning phase. Number 3, leverage systems and automations to delegate simple tasks to robots. You don't want to be doing stuff like following up with people after a week, and you don't want to have to constantly remind yourself to do that shit, especially once you have a bunch of leads. So use programs like Go High Level to kind of automate that process where you can literally tell a robot what to do one time, and it will do that for you for the rest of your life. You set it up one time for a couple hours, and that will save you infinite time in the future. Number 4 is taking actual action. So stop watching YouTube videos, stop learning, just go fucking do the business. Most people, like I said, sit there and just think about the business model and try and learn and listen to podcasts, and it's a trap that most people fall in because it really does seem like you're progressing when you're sitting there watching a YouTube video. It seems like, oh damn, I'm really doing something right now, this is going to push me forward, when ultimately if you overdo it and you just watch a bunch of YouTube videos on the same exact concept, all you're doing is just wasting time. You're literally just in a phase of analysis paralysis, and you have to break out of that phase as soon as possible to actually see results. I gave you guys the outline of the business model. You know exactly what you're supposed to do on an acquisitions call. I have a million other videos detailing every single topic of this business that you could possibly imagine, and you guys have everything you need to just go get started. Just go make a phone call. Try and fail. Go cold call a FISBO and offer him half of what he's asking and get cursed out. That's how you learn. I promise you. Like, it's not a waste of time doing that shit. You only do that for like 2 to 3 weeks. You build up the confidence on the phone to where you can call up a random FISBO and be like, and you can call them and be like, hey, what's going on, Mr. Seller? Yeah, I saw you were listing 123 Main Street. I just wanted to, ask a few details about your house. And you want it to become like second nature. Like, you're not even pitching anything anymore. You're just letting words roll off your tongue and you're having a genuine conversation with someone who's already interested in selling their own house. I hope I helped a bunch of beginners get into this business by making this video, because I know damn well I needed to hear every single thing I said in this video when I started out. So obviously I'm going to preach what I know works and what I have seen success in. And if you guys want to work with me privately one-to-one, I only work with 20 guys at a time. So I have an application link at the top of the description. I really just want a group of 20 guys that know how to close like 3 to 10 deals a month. So if you guys want to get into wholesaling and you think you'd be a good fit, so you're actually ambitious and you're someone who's going to make it work no matter what, I'll give you every single resource that you possibly need. You just need to give me your word that you'll actually stick it out and essentially become a part of my team. Like, everyone I work with, I want them to genuinely kill it, because in the future, I can send you a flip if I'm working in your area. You can send me a flip if you're working in my area. And then you have 20 other guys finding deals in the same circle who are all sending each other flips. Like, I want this to be way more than just a wholesaling group. I want it eventually to just become a group of killers who know exactly what they're doing and they know exactly how to close deals. So it can just all be one big value exchange. But other than that, guys, drop a like, drop a sub, and drop any other topic you want me to cover down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.